Okay, well, welcome to the workshop. This is the 14th workshop that we've done. You'd be surprised in each one of them there are different things that come out, and there's also a lot of consistency in what gets said. We've had workshops on track injury, safer tracks, track design. We've had workshops on rearing, breeding, rehoming, extending the racing life of a dog. How do we best support keeping the little people, the smaller participants in the industry? So we've had a range of different workshops and we've learnt a lot. I also want to thank Barry, Ray and Joy for being on the panel today.
Hi Ray, thanks for taking some time to talk with us. How have you been involved in greyhound racing?
How long? Well, about 40 years. I've been an airbrander for about approximately 35 years. I've done a number of litters in that time, as you could well imagine.
Yeah.
But I'm very concerned at the moment with the number of litters that I'm doing compared to, say, 4 years ago. It's dropped dramatically. But no, I still enjoy getting around. I'm a greyhound fan and fancier right through.
So you were talking when you were on the panel earlier and you were saying that the first 3 months are the most important for good rearing. What sort of things do you think need to happen in those first 3 months?
Oh, they've got to be well fed. They've got to be getting plenty of calcium, plenty of milk straight from the dairies and stuff like that. A lot of handling. The worming's got to be spot on regularly. And all these things add up. And I really do think that the first 3 months is probably the paramount to their future.
Now, there's been a lot of really good discussion here tonight. What do you think about the Stakeholder Engagement Workshops happening?
Personally, that the GRV are taking their time to come out into the country and hear our views, and I hope that, we mightn't have any good views, but at least we're putting them up and we hope that they can act on them.
Hi Joy, thank you for having your time, giving me some time now. Can you tell me how you've been involved in greyhound racing?
Well, actually, it started when I met Ashley. I hadn't had anything to do with greyhounds before then. And he just bought his first greyhound. And, of course, when I got involved with him, I got involved with the greyhounds. We'd have an argument and I'd go and sit in the shed with the greyhounds. But then, you wouldn't remember him, Ron Lamaro had a lot of dogs at that stage, and we started taking his rejects.
Yep.
And won a lot of races with them, and we gradually sort of, more and more dogs. And then Ashley got Barry into it, and they raced together for a few years until Barry took over the farm, and then he went into the breeding side and we kept racing.
You had some great things to say on the panel tonight about rearing. What do you think are some of the most important things that people need to consider during rearing?
Well, the pups need to be handled. You can't just feed them and walk away. You have to get in and play with them, get them on the lead when they're 3 or 4 months old and, just teach them, throw a squeaker into them and, teach them to chase. You have to do the groundwork early because a lot of people just leave them in the yard. They get them out at 12, 13 months old. They've never had a lead on them before and they don't know what a kennel is or what they're supposed to be chasing. So you have to put the groundwork into them when they're young. Yeah.
When we were talking earlier about what we need to do to educate participants and people better about working with greyhounds, how did you think you were able to get educated to do your training?
I don't know. I think I just picked it up along the way, but even now I'll talk to the other trainers, they'll talk to me, what are you doing? And, you listen to what they're doing. You've got to make up your own mind because, we all train differently, but, you listen to what other people say, yeah.
And what do you think GRV can be doing with education?
Probably these seminars, are good because we can talk about what we think and they can tell us, what they're doing. And it actually surprised me tonight the things that they are moving forward with.
Hi Barry, thanks for taking the time to talk to us. Can you tell us a little bit about how you got involved in the greyhound industry?
Oh, that's an interesting one. Joy, you talked to before, her husband got me involved, 46 years ago. I used to play a lot of tennis and did me back in, and he said, what about getting a dog? So we got a dog together and I raced it and I got hooked straight away.
You were talking earlier on the panel about the first 3 months being the most important time during rearing. What do you think needs to happen during that time?
Well, I might be a bit old-fashioned, but you've got to give them as much time as you possibly can. They've got to be wormed consistently, fed well and looked after, and if there's not a shine on a pup when it's 10 to 12 weeks old, I'm not a happy chappy.
Tonight there's been some great discussion at this workshop. What do you think has been some of the good ideas that have come out of tonight?
Oh, I think there's been enormous discussion and a lot of good points have come out of tonight, and it's various points. That's regarding gap, regarding racing of dogs, breeding of dogs, and of course I'm a breeder, so I'm happy with that part of it because I've got a lot to do with the breeding. I'm not a trainer or anything, but overall I thought it was good discussions. Yeah.
Would you like to see more stakeholder engagement workshops like this?
Yes, probably. I think most of them have been the other side of Melbourne and it hasn't been down here, so it's good to see everybody come down here and meet us and hear our grievances and see where things are going.
Because there's something special to the country, isn't there? There's unique things that you need to happen in country areas.
Yeah, there is. It's different than the city. We are more remote, so therefore there's things that we require that the city doesn't require. And to get everyone down here and put across what we need is great.